Let's talk about lace and skin units, skin-based units, wearing them, installing them, how do they feel on the head, how do they breathe, all that stuff. It's going to be pretty in-depth. Let's get to it. Welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to the Hair Experience. I'm Curtis, your guide to get luxurious, bougie, poppin', twerking hair on your head. I like to... Amanda says when I twerk, it's like two sticks rubbing together. My twerk game is terrible. Anyways, hit the subscribe button, super important to me. Hit the thumbs up button if you like my content. Lets YouTube know you like it. All right, that's it. Hairbymhe.com. All your supplies, ebooks, our white bond, our clear bond, starter kits, all in stock. Poly units are coming around. Lace units are not. They're coming in, but it's super, super slow. MyHairExperience.com's got a lot of the information, tutorials, FAQs, videos, YouTube videos. Check it out. On to it, Curtis. All right, so we're gonna talk about lace. So these two units here are units that I have that our stylist cut to the wrong template. You know, if we've got a Smith and we've got 4 Smiths, let's say in the template file, she grabbed the wrong Smith, cut it to the wrong one. These are here. These are going to be our examples. So we're going to go over like installation. This is going to be a long one, so super sorry. Installation, how does it feel, things like that. So let's get to it and stop jabbering. So lace obviously is a lace-based material product. It's like a pantyhose but expanded. They come in different thicknesses. We all know that. This one's a Swiss lace unit that I'm holding in my hand. Polyurethane, depending on where you get it from, is kind of gonna factor on this. We're just gonna talk about my product for now, and you can kind of take that information with you if it validates to other companies. So lace is 100% breathable. It can 100% get water through it and things like that. If you install this unit with a full bond, you might as well have just bought a poly, or even worse. So you're taking the properties of the lace material, putting a full bond between it and your scalp, so your breathability is shot. Your cleanup's going to be a long time, things like that. If you do that on a poly, you're going to lose the breathability of our 0.03 millimeter Invisiskin product because it is gas and liquid permeable. There's fine holes built into the unit. So if you put this in the sink and you squeeze it like this, you'll see water coming out of it. It does vent, but nothing like a lace unit. All right, so installation on a lace unit, we've been over this 1,000 times, but I just want to go over the differences because the market seems to be okay with poly units right now and not with lace units. So if you need to go to a poly, don't be scared. I've done this myself. I wear our Invisiskin product all the time. That's what I wear. I live in Florida. It's uber hot. And the pollen's going right now, so my sinuses are going. That's why I brought my water. Lace is obviously a more breathable product if you do tape around the back and sides and bond just on the very front edge like I teach. This skin will vent, but not like a lace, period. It will not breathe the same. Let's go into heat. So if you wear a lace unit, you have to think that all of this hair is going to cause heat regardless if it breathes through the unit or not. So if you've been bald for 10 years and all of a sudden you have a unit on your head, it's going to feel hot for the first 3 to 7 days. Your body has to acclimate to it and then it'll be normal. That's in both cases, okay? That's in both of them. Both of them are going to feel warm, warmer than normal. Your overall body temperature is going to probably stay a little bit warmer. I'm not talking like fever style stuff. I'm just talking about you're going to feel warmer. Once your body acclimates, then you'll be fine. But putting hair back on your head is like, I mean, this is warm. Just in general, that's a big part of it. So that's heat. I live in the Florida sun. I go on my boat all the time. I'm on the beach. I'm outside in the yard. I'm washing my car, doing whatever. I wear a poly, but I do tape around the back and sides. And that little bit of bond up front, and it works well for me in the heat. We've been over installation. Maybe I need to backtrack a little bit. Installation is going to be the same. You can do the same thing on both products. Tape around the back and sides, bond on the very front edge. The only difference is if you are the guy that likes to put bond on the front of your unit and not on your scalp, you can do that on a polyurethane-based product, but you cannot do that on a lace-based product, okay? The lace, if you put a bond on the lace, it's just going to go through the lace and then go into the hair. You don't want that. You want the bond to be on your head, tacked up and semi-cured, you know, that 5 to 7 minute wait, and then you can push down into it and then it will do its thing and hide. Okay, still on installation. If you're doing a lace unit to a poly unit and you're doing that front bond on the front edge, you need 2 to 3 coats of a bond in the front in order to hide the lace material in the front. Going to a poly, you only need 1 coat of bond. 1 coat. You only need the adhesive property of the bond. You don't need the deck height of the bond like we've talked about many times before to hide this. Okay, so you just need the sticky portion of it, not the height of it. All right, so heat, installation. Now we're going to go to cleanup. Cleanup on both is, I mean, cleanup sucks, guys. You all know this. Cleanup is probably the worst thing that we dread and deal with. Cleanup is going to be about the same amount of time, but it's not going to be the same procedure. So with something like this, okay, and if you've got tape around the back and sides and bond in the front, and that adhesive sticks to this product, what I teach is to take a cotton ball and rub the cotton ball like this, and then the cotton grabs the tape or adhesive, and you just roll that cotton away. On a thin skin unit, you can still tape and do your thing like we said, but whenever you get that stuff, the adhesive that's left over, you're going to want to spray this unit down. You're going to want to let it sit on the counter for 5 to 7 minutes while you're cleaning your scalp, so that adhesive remover can break down the adhesive on there, and then you'll get a paper towel, you'll roll it up at like 4 times or 5 times so it kind of makes a square cube, and then you'll do the same thing to get that material off. I've also taught that you can use your countertop in a sweeping motion like this, but you have to be super, super careful, guys, super careful, because these are not as forgiving as these. They just, if you go to get a tear in one of these, that tear will continue to run. Whereas a lace will stretch and stretch out of its form, but yet you can put a hair dryer, or not a hair dryer, a steam on it, just a little bit of steam from like a, what do you call it, iron? Put it on a mannequin head, lightly steam it, and that lace, like you're gonna have it upside down like this, that lace will kind of start to work its way back to where it belongs. It's not gonna be 100%, but it's gonna be better than it was. So this will stretch, this is more forgiving, but if you treat this right, it's stretchy too, okay? It's not just gonna tear because I'm pulling on it. That's not how this works. So it will, it has some give too. But if you get a little fine tear in a corner, let's say, you magnify that tear with any pressure, it's just gonna keep going. So it's something that you have to pay attention to. Let's go into longevity. These units, I tell everybody an average is 3 months. On a lace or on a poly, some people get more, some people get less. I average about 3 months. Throughout all of my R&D, we averaged about 3 months. So depending on the unit where it's sourced from, your average should be about 3 months, and that unit should be about ready for the trash. It's not gonna be any different between the two of these. All of it has to do with care. Care and products that are put on the hair. Quality hair products is key, guys. This hair doesn't get any sebum or anything from our scalp, so everything that it gets, we have to give to it. You know what I mean? Like, we have to give the hair the nutrition that it needs because it doesn't have any option from our body. Removal. Removal is going to be generally the same as well. Start from the back. So if you've got this in the back, you'll spray that back lip, and then you'll keep spraying your adhesive remover. Obviously, this is upside down, but you'll keep spraying your adhesive remover and kind of rolling it forward like this and spraying on your head and just keeping it taut, not tight, but taut. And as that adhesive remover works its way down, it's gonna break that bond down and that unit's gonna come off. A little bit different with these, whereas if you've got tape, you know, all the way down the sides and the back, you really want to spray from the hair side, from the top, to get that tape to release from the base material product so that it doesn't pull the hair back through the other side. That's a big no-no. You don't want that. With a skin unit, you don't have to worry about that. You're never gonna pull the hair back through the other side. It's just not engineered that way. It won't happen. Now we'll go to styling and daily use. So a lace unit is constructed with knots. Okay, it has a knot that is put and kind of wrapped around that lace, and then it's knotted to hold that hair there. So that knot can swivel. Okay, it can go, and it's going to gain a memory as well. What I'm getting to is the hair gains a memory over time. Okay, so if you, it's engineered this way, down from the crown and out, like our head grows. Our head doesn't grow. Our hair grows from our head in that fashion. Okay, that's the same way this is done in a skin product. Okay, so in a lace, you could probably get an up style like I wear to hold faster than you can a polyurethane product. So I had a customer reach out to me. He got one of our Invisiskin products, and he came from lace. And he said, Curtis, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. I can't get it to look like yours. So that's kind of the reason why I did this video today. I can't get it to stay up. It wants to stay down, etc. So blow dry training, which is a video I did, I don't know, a couple of years back, is important and imperative to this. A lace unit will gain a memory over time, but it seems to happen faster than a polyurethane. So be patient with a polyurethane. You need about a week of blow dry training that hair where you want it to go and where you want it to be for it to want to default to that and not give you a hard time, let's say, or backlash kind of thing, wanting to default back in its direction. Once you train it to do what you want it to do, then you're golden. It will happen faster with a lace because that knot can sit there and pivot on the lace. Hair quality. It's the same exact hair. It's no difference. So that's not something that you have to be concerned with my product. I don't know about other people's product, but that's just with my product. It's the same exact hair. On a lace, I get people ask me about bleached knots and things like that. Depending on where you get the lace from, like with my product, you don't have to worry about bleached knots because it doesn't have a knot. It has a V-loop construction, so it does this. So it's put down into the thing, it V's back out, and then another layer of polyurethane is put on top of that to seal it in. That's what holds it, is that V and then that polyurethane like this. Whereas this, a lace unit, is going to be knotted and it has a knot ball there. And it's bleached, obviously, as best as you can get it, but a lot of times you'll see that ball. So if you switch from let's say you switch from a lace unit to a poly unit, you're not going to see that anymore. That doesn't exist. So let's say 90% of these knots got bleached and it went well, you won't see that, the remaining 10% on a polyurethane at all. I'm not saying polyurethane is better, it's just a different style construction. Let me think of what else. I think that's about it. So I wore a poly for years. I mean, a lace for years. I loved it. Wanted to try a poly. Just because, you got to try things. You don't know what a Ford drives like if you've always driven a Chevy or vice versa. You just don't know. So you have to try. So when I switched to a poly, I looked at it after it was done and I was like, there's no way I'm going back to a lace. That's just me. That's just my opinion. That's just what I like. Doesn't mean you'll like it or anyone else will like it. That's just what I like. A lace product is obviously more breathable. It's obviously going to be cooler. But it doesn't say that the poly unit is to the point of being overly hot. Now, it may be on some of you guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an excessively hot person, though. Like, just in general. I'm an excessively cool person. Like, I get cool fast. Faster than most, I guess. So, but I'm not the guy that sweats when he sleeps because it's, 70 degrees in the house or 72. I'm not that guy. Some people are, and a lace may be best for you. But in the interim, with the way stuff is going right now with production and issues with getting, like our issue is to get the lace-based material product. Not the hair, none of that. It's getting this part of it. We make our own in China, and we can't get this. So that's the problem that we're having. We're getting it, but it's in such small amounts. The production is so small compared to normal. With a poly unit, daily wear, let's say, with a poly unit, you don't feel it. I don't feel my hair on my head. I don't feel like something's attached to my head. I don't feel like anything is bothering my head. I don't feel it. I didn't feel a lace, and I don't feel a poly, just the same. Now, day one, the first couple of hours, if it's snug, you know what I mean, you're going to feel it for a little bit, but after that, it goes away. An hour or into the evening or something, and that feeling is totally gone. Another good thing about poly, so you guys know when the adhesive or the tape breaks down, it can go through the lace-based material into the hair, and that becomes a nightmare. I've done a video on how to get it out, but it's still one more task. This, on a poly, contains everything at the poly. It stops it from going into the hair, which is a godsend. It is fantastic. The only thing that you have to worry about is when your tape breaks down on the side, let's say, and you know it's breaking down, but you let it ride because you don't feel like doing it. Ask me how I know, because I've done it. It will want to seep out the side, okay, onto your biological hair and onto this hair, but that's an easy fix. Whenever you take it off, you're already putting the adhesive remover on there anyways. You lightly comb it out and it all comes out from here, not from here, if that makes sense. So if your tape starts crapping the bed on you on a lace, it's going to go here and here, and it turns into an absolute problem. And it looks all greasy and matted and nasty and stuff like that. Okay, so we've went over installation, we've went over use, we've went over styling, we've went over cleanup. That's all those things are really the only key differences. Now, I want to add something backwards a little bit. If you go to a 0.05 millimeter polyurethane, even with my product, Duraskin, the breathability, the gas permeable and liquid permeable factors are gone. Because that unit is so thick, it can't permeate based on the way that we build them. So that's gone, so just keep that in mind. That unit may be a little bit warmer. Sweat will obviously travel through this much easier than this, but it will evaporate and also creep out from the sides through the water from the shower and sweat both will make its way between the seams of the tape where your tape is, and it will basically vent that way. I wouldn't, me personally, wouldn't do a full bond with a polyurethane. I'm just not a fan of full bonds. Everybody thinks, full bond's gonna be more attached to me and be more like my hair. I think like you guys do, trust me. But it's not. It sucks. I mean, just to shoot you straight, it sucks. And it's a lot more cleanup. A lot more cleanup. It's a lot more product on your head too. So those are just things to consider. So Invisalace, Invisaskin, obviously laces being a problem, that's why we're talking about skin, vice versa. So if you want to experiment, now is probably the time. And you might fall in love and not go back. I mean, who knows? But it'll get you through that interim time of the problems that we're having with the pandemic. I think that's it. If you guys got any questions, reach out. I'm always grateful to have you as customers. You make this possible for my family and I, and I just want to give you a thumbs up. How about that? So thanks, guys. I hope that information helps, and I'll be here to help if you need me. Okay, thanks.